on that car.
That's crazy. Crazy. Robbie Metz is falling back into the third spot. The Richie Man, the Rocket Man, Rich Stevens trying to catch up to Chris Levin in 38L. Coming into turn 3.
Back straightaway, turn 3 and 4. They'll exit off the corner. And still out in front is going to be that car number 38, Chris Lovett. Chris Lovett out in front and leading the way in that number 38. Richie Stevens is second. Robbie Metz third. Leon Childs, Kyle Livingood, your top 5. Look at this great battle going on. 3 wide. He's sideways and takes his own self out to spin. 23M, Garrett McDonald. Wow, Michael, everybody's getting on the binders to miss that car.
Well, when you get a little love tap, and from the backside, Leon Childs is giving him a little love taps from the backside, so he finally turns it around. So,
and we go back under the yellow flag.
Caution on the speedway. So,
well, this is the first caution of the race, actually. So we got a couple of laps in. We got at least 5 complete. And Michael, got to give props that they got the scoreboard fixed over there in turn 1. They got timing and scoring showing, keeping up with the laps and the ticker, the top 5. There were some people asking questions about that if they'd have it fixed. I know the last time I was here with you, I think it was in June before 4th of July. We didn't have that.
They've actually had it on all day and never about it, but we hadn't been there paying no attention to it because we're watching race monitors. So
when it's working.
Chris Lovett in the 38L.
Actually, it keeps up with the top 8 on the racetrack.
So
that's pretty neat.
69 Richie Stevens, 37 Robbie Metz, Leon Childs, the Wild Childs, and Kyle Livingood, the top 5.
If they just moved it about another 50 feet, 100 feet maybe back, you probably able to see it.
Well, the key thing is it's not for us, basically.
That's right.
So
I know. Come on, Michael.
We can't move that thing. That's too big. It'd take a lot of work to move that big old thing.
Let's run some more wire.
Yeah. Yeah, make sure you visit the concession stand. Get something hot to eat, cold to drink down in the concession stand area. Also, homemade glaze, homemade chocolate donuts are on sale also. And the souvenir stand, along with the 46th Annual Alabama State Souvenir T-shirts, are available also. So
out in front, it is Chris Lovett in car number 38L. In second spot, Richie Stevens in 69. Robbie Metz sits in third. Leon Childs is 4th. Sitting in 5th is Kyle Livingood. Then it's going to be Cameron Metz in the 37. Howie Reeves in the 68 car. Jason Harrison, Al Walker, Toby Joe Reeves is your top 10 as it stands right now. Hey, Michael, call for those. What's coming up next?
Let's see.
Supers
are coming up next. Super late models, you're up next for your feature race. Super late models be lining up. You're up next for your feature race. Lineups are posted in Eckerd Field and on the parts
building.
Yes. So make sure you check the lineups. Lineups are posted. So check them out.
Hey, I'd like to wish a happy birthday to Thomas Cooper. Carol is one of the hard workers here that gets here before everybody else arrives for the Alabama State Championship weekend and also the National 100. And, of course, Carol, her grandson, Thomas Cooper, is having a birthday, 11 years old. We are going back to green, Michael. Restart, whole shot. Chris Lovett back to turn 1.
Chris Lovett, Rocket Man, Richie Stevens, all to the end and the left. Rare quarter pounder of the 38L, Chris Lovett.
He's there.
Rocket Man, Richie Stevens, staying right behind him in line. Here comes Kyle Livingood looking to the inside of the Wild Child. Leon Childs in the 7 car. They're going down the front straightaway into 1, into 2. Leon Childs still high. Right as 3's High Bank Oval, trying to keep her to stay around. Kyle Livingood. Robbie Metz, in the 37 car. 3 wide that time coming out of turn 4. Robbie Metz still hanging on that 3rd spot.
Street Stocks at full speed now, working lap number 8 this time by, lap 7, 18 to go, as the field roars into turn number 1 and 2 to the back straightaway. Out in front, exiting 3 is Chris Lovett. To the outside is the Rocket Man, Richie Stevens. Sitting third is Robbie Metz. Wild Child, Leon Childs 4, Kyle Livingood 5. They're back in turn 2.
Chris Lovett still following your leader. Robbie Metz off the back straightaway, back on the track. Chris Lovett still your leader, followed by the Rocket Man, Richie Stevens, Robbie Metz, Leon Childs, Cameron. Cameron Metz in that 37, moving up through the field, right behind the Wild Child, Leon Childs. Robbie Metz's son is leaving to go to Iraq.
That's right.
In October.
I was talking to them about that last night. As a matter of fact, they got that 37 with the American flag on it, representing and celebrating Old Glory. Don't know if he could possibly make the National 100.
Yeah.
You see the American flag on the 37's door panel? Oh, great battle for the lead. Contact. Oh, my goodness. Love it. Cut off Richie Stevens, Michael. And normally drivers do not do that and get away with it.
Well, he slammed the door right in his face, so Chris Lovett said, you want it, you're going to have to earn it, big boy. So,
and put sheet metal damage on the right rear quarter panel of that leader's car as well. And back on the high horse comes the machine of Rocket Man Richie Stevens one more time, down into 3.
Chris Lovett still your leader, followed by the Rocket Man Rich Stevens, Robbie Metz, your top 3. Hey, halfway that time by, free leader. Halfway that time by. Super late models, you're up next. Be lining up, guys. Super late models, you're up next. Be lining up. Super late models, you are up next. Be lining up for your feature race. Super late models, be lining up. You're up next. Chris Lovett, Richie Stevens. Coming out of turn 2 that time. Rich Stevens with a full head of steam that time. He's all on the rear deck lid of Chris Lovett coming out of turn 4 that time.
Yeah, making that move, trying so hard, trying to move by lap traffic. Putting Jared Harrison a lap down, the teammate car to Stevens. They'll go to the inside. Richie Stevens now says, all right, you cut me off for the right rear. I'm going to come to the left rear. He's on driver left. He gives him sheet metal rub on the left rear, just like the right rear, Michael. He is trying to find any way possible to get around. Love it. Stevens on a mission back to turn 1, and they go up the racetrack together.
Lovett is trying to hold on to that lead over the Rocket Man, Richie Stevens. There'll be 8 to go this time by. Richie Stevens off the reservation, back on it. Lost a little momentum that time. Has lost the gap between him and Richie Stevens. Rich Stevens and Chris Lovett. Chris Lovett trying to stay out in front of Richie Stevens.
And 8 laps to go, Michael.
Cameron Metz looking to the inside of Leon Childs. And the 37 car, Cameron Metz.
Floyd with a problem. Yeah. He pulls in the 1 car. Holy smokes, Michael, here he comes. Here comes Stevens on the outside. He's got the run, but here comes Lovett shutting the door.
They're catching up to the 0-2 car of Al Walker in the bottom of this track.
And they'll come to the line. It'll be 7 to go this time by.
Richie Stevens.
Wow.
Chris Lovett slid up.
3 wide.
That time, Chris Lovett slid up. Rocket Man Rich Stevens. You don't ever see that hardly out of the Rocket Man Rich Stevens. He took the lead from Chris Lovett coming out of turn 4.
He went up high.
Thread the needle in between Al Walker and Chris Lovett that time. And come around in turn 2 and went up way high off the reservation.
Oh,
Rocket
Stevens
Man.
is in trouble. Right
Rocket
rear
Man.
tire is down. Richie Stevens with a right rear tire down, Michael, and I think we're going to see a caution.
There's some debris in the straightaway. I don't know what that is, but it's on the front straight.
I think it's his tire. They're still staying green, not anymore. Contact. Oh, my goodness, Wild Child.
Caution on the speedway.
Leon Childs, and they got to throw the yellow. Michael, they had to throw the caution. That is a big piece of debris there, and it looks like a piece of rubber.
I don't know what it is, but it's a big piece of rubber or something because it come off the car of Rocket Man. Tough break for Rocket Man Richie Stevens.
Yes.
him and Chris Lovett.
Well, you know, Michael, some man came here in the tower on Thursday, or excuse me, Wednesday afternoon, said that he wanted to put a $1,000 bounty against Rocket Man Richie Stephens. Now, again, he bowed out. What if he would have done it?
Yeah, no. I don't get into all that drama like that. That's just crazy. Bounties, yeah, that's just too much. Just race the man clean and be done with it. Rocket Man Richie Stephens, tough break for Rocket Man. Tough break. Rocket Man Richie Stephens, you do not see that out of him very often.
No, you don't. You don't see him hardly ever cut down a tire. You hardly ever see him go up the top of the racetrack and like overshoot or, you know, do the crossover move, end up on the top of the racetrack like we saw.
Well, when him and Chris Lovett and Al Walker, when they was coming around the lap car of Al Walker, coming out of turn 4 that time, Richie Stephens threaded a needle right between Lovett and Walker, went right to him, took the lead, got over into turn 1 and 2, got too hot, and won, and went off the track over a little bit and come back on, and that's when he lost the lead back to Chris Lovett. And Chris Lovett is your current leader in the 38L machine.
Well, we are back under the caution. Again, caution coming out for Rocket Man Richie Stephens in the 69 entry out of Phoenix City, Alabama. Cut down a right rear tire, put debris down. We got officials at the letter CD fencing area picking up debris all the way in different places down the front stretch. There's still debris there at letter I at the fence area I. So they're all working on picking up that debris, and we should be ready to try to go back for the finish here. And, Michael, we saw what happened to Richie Stephens' car. There is a lot of significant fender rub on the leader, Chris Lovett's car. What could his mind be going through right now saying, I got a flat?
That's right. Now, I want to say something, too, to make sure you stay off the fence area. We didn't have any problems today, but, just in case, please stay away from the fence area while the race cars are on the racetrack. That's for your own safety. And we greatly appreciate you being here with us on this beautiful Saturday night for the 46th annual night portion, for the Saturday night portion of the 46th annual Alabama State Championship race. Tomorrow morning, gates will open at 9 o'clock. The grandstand gates will open. They'll have coffee and donuts at 8:30 because we're having a church service in the morning.
That's right.
Brother Joe Kelly, Racing with Jesus Ministries, will be here. All the way out of Ocala, Florida, he'll be here right behind the pit building under the shade trees bringing the word to you. So make sure you make plans to be here.
Again, Super Late Models, me and Michael been calling for you. Super Late Models, your feature race is coming up next. Super Late Models, your feature race is coming up next. Please get them lined up and ready to go. Super Late Models.
Yeah, Super Late Models are coming up next. Be lining them up. Super Late Models coming up next.
It's going to be 4 laps to go. They're coming back to the firing line. You want to interview him, Michael? Michael Patton will be talking to the winner here in Victory Lane in just a moment. But who will it be, Michael? We got trouble.
Oh,
is that Metz around?
That's Robbie Metz around. Kyle Livingood.
Wow.
And Cameron Metz. That's Robbie Metz in the 37 car around.
Cautions, breed cautions, breed cautions. And we go back under yellow flag again. So we go under yellow.
Chris Lovett still is your leader.
Well, let's recap things for you here. We got 4 laps to go, 21 laps complete. Chris Lovett's out in front in the 38. Robbie Metz is going to sit there in the number 2 spot. Cameron Metz was the one that brought out the caution when he got spun there in 2. And then you've got now Garrett McDonald. I think he's moved back to 3rd, Michael. No, my apologies. Mets and Mets are 2-3.